And then we
I
put it.
really so the way they described this on the Steam page is a grimtastical adventure.
What the
So I'm
fuck
really
does that mean?
wondering when things are gonna go fucking south so hard.
Well, here's Rose, so. Yeah, Nebula. It's like a meme from Homestuck that they get like these mannequin arms and they always just put them in stuff, and like John always puts them on cakes and thinks it's really funny. Um,
I still want to see a Friendsim, but but in the dream bubbles. I
yeah.
think that'd be really
Honestly,
cool.
like as much as I like Friendsim and visual novel type things, the most compelling and well written and best thing about Homestuck is the people talking to each other. Like just the
Yes.
pester logs are so fucking good that reading Friendsim and like I like this, but the first person like these things, what do you even call them?
That's the narration.
Yeah, the narration, I don't like it that much compared to when characters are just talking back and forth. It's Homestuck's strong suit, so it feels really weird to not see it.
Yeah, it's really easy to like get caught up in the characters because they all have such strong, like defining personality features.
Yeah,
So you really feel like
exactly.
you get to know them and see how they interact with other people. And then, yeah.
Also, like, you understand this, Logan, as a fellow writer slash writing enthusiast. I just fucking love dialogue. And it's all I ever want to see. And well written dialogue is
Yes.
my favorite thing on earth. Also,
Yes.
also Andrea. Wait, do you say it Andrea or Andrea? I say Andrea, so that's what it's gonna be until further notice. I think we actually talked about this in Logan's stream, and I've just forgotten. Oops. But I don't know any spoilers. Okay, you are the same as me. Gotcha. So I don't know any spoilers for it, but I'm sure Logan has seen maybe a million of them at this point, probably, because Logan's Twitter is all Homestuck, so it's can't avoid it.
Yeah, I had a yeah, so yeah, I just I had to like avoid Twitter all day. Meh.
It's okay, Logan. You can expose yourself.
uh,
No, but
yeah.
Skylar's right. In Homestuck, they spend a lot of time talking about nothing. It's very accurate to online chats, but that's when you get like the peeks into their actual characters, and it's like my favorite part.
Yeah, exactly. It's just really it's good.
It's
Homestuck's
good.
good when good character. But I
Good,
get exactly what you mean.
yeah, good dialogue will reveal personality traits, and the only reason anyone likes Homestuck is because of the personality traits. Like, I get people like the mysteries, and they like the story, and they want to know what happens next, but no one would fucking like Homestuck if there wasn't all the dialogue. And that's facts.
I just really like I think it's not just dialogue, but also how you see different personalities kind of like bring out more information in
Yeah,
people than others. I think that's really cool.
Nate, you're not terrible at writing, I believe. If you just keep writing a bunch, you'll get better at it, and then it'll be good.
I believe in you,
Also,
Nate.
listen, Nate, if some of the fucking Marvel writers and Marvel artists can get published in this day and age, literally anyone can. So don't let that hold you back from trying, because they have put out some fucking bullshit. I so mad. Remember when Dave and Equius spent an I did not say words. Remember
Yeah.
when Dave and Equius spent an hour of reading time talking about Obama and rapping to each other?
Yeah. I do remember that. And then Equius freaked out Dave and he left.
That's the most valid Dave's ever been. Just being like, all right, I'm a head out. Yeah, writing is a skill. You build skill by doing. Exactly. Also, I'm the
All right.
narrator now, and you're Rose, right?
Yeah.
I
The way
mean,
you say that, like, I'm narrator now. This is my car. We're going to McDonald's. And I'm getting a coffee.
now you have to imitate Goddess. Do you know what Goddess sounds like? I actually don't know if you do.
You know what? I'm sure I have heard them, but you know me, I can't retain information
That's true.
whatsoever.
That's true.
I don't know what you expect from me. What's happening? I'm
I don't
blinking now.
know. I can see Discord is blinking for you, but it's not blinking anywhere else. So, try to ignore it. No, but Goddess's name is Rose, and they have a good Rose voice, yet not kin somehow.
On advice. Oh, my name is Rose. I am Rose.
Okay.
Now that's too soft.
You need to sound kind of like a cunt. Just straight up. Yeah, Nebula has a
Okay.
good voice too. I don't know who in Homestuck would be Nebula, but I love Nebula's voice. It's like very calming.
Hey.
But we'll get to that later. On the advice of your new friend John, you go to visit one of his close comrades. Close only figuratively speaking, since it seems she lives all the way on the other side of the country. That's no problem for you, though, since your new powers let you hop anywhere, anytime, even to places that don't exist. Well, you think your powers let you do that. You just have this distinct metatextual feeling that you could pretty much go anywhere at this point. You know that doesn't make any sense. There's the house. There's the fucking... It looks like the lab from the Powerpuff Girls. That's what I always thought. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing that doesn't make sense about friendship, though, and that's exactly what you're about to do. Friendship, that is. You're about to do some friendship by making a new friend. I have no idea why Discord's flickering, so...
Yeah, it's really freaking me out. It might be on my end or
It's
something.
not. I
It
can
might
see it
be-
flickering. I think it's just the game has begun to misbehave. Her name is...
Do not
You check
fuck
your notes.
this up.
Rose. I'm that guy pointing at the puppies. Do not ruin this for us. I don't even know that name.
And Pesterquest.
Yeah, please, Rose, be the person to see through the bullshit. I could kind of see Solix Goddess. I feel like Nebula is too nice to be Solix. Genuinely. This is her house, apparently. Looks kind of weird and modern, and it's situated in the middle of the woods for no good reason you can think of. Also, it's pouring rain, which is not what you would describe as ideal friend-making conditions. Still, nothing stops a mailman, not from delivering mail nor making friends. Rather famously, rain and other similar weather patterns provide no deterrent to the performance of his duty. And there is no duty more important than friendship. Oh, she looks so cute. Suddenly, a
Doesn't
woodland
she?
girl approaches. Who goes there? Oh, it's your new friend Rose, obviously. There's literally no one else this could be. I love the jacket. This is such a cute sprite.
I know, it's really cute.
Yeah, obviously Nebula would be a troll, because Nebula is a troll, like, already. We'll find something. You introduce yourself. You're the cool mailman who John told her to expect a visit from soon. You would doff your mail hat to signal a friendly greeting, except recently you accidentally dropped it into a sewer, along with all your other mail-specific clothes, as well as all the mail you were supposed to deliver, as you explained to her gratuitously in an unconvincing manner. It's not a great start, you admit, but you've done much worse.
You are not a mailman.
Yikes, you are busted almost immediately. You briefly consider whether you should double down on the lie and try to say something mailman-like, or whether the right call is to come clean, since she's clearly too smart for this amateur bullshit. Hey, Mr. Kokono, what's up? Yeah, Rose, we knew Rose would have our back. But it's taking a few seconds too long for you to decide, which looks guilty as hell. That's it, the jig is up. You slouch in defeat. You ask her if she would please consider not telling John. Your heart couldn't take it if he found out your entire friendship was based on a lie.
You want me to keep a secret from one of my best friends to protect the feelings of a random buffoon who I've never met and arbitrarily showed up to my house in the remote wilderness like a creep?
Oh, it's time to save. Yes or no?
Let's go with no.
No. Man, you guess today's the day you get owned by teens. She's totally right. What are you doing just wandering up to her house without even calling first? It's just totally disrespectful of her time.
No need to self-flagellate. It was a simple suggestion to more critically examine your motivation and actions in the future.
Nebula, they all have a screen name. So her name is Rose, but that's her username. Like, all of Homestuck is presented, or most of Homestuck is presented through, like, online chat logs, so it always has their username, like, next to it. No, she's right. You're going. You zap away, aiming for a spot a half-mile away into the woods, where you can become properly soaked and miserable. But instead of trees, you find yourself standing in front of a bank of computers. Shit, you misfired. Wait, you remember seeing a big structure off in the distance when you were in front of Rose's house. You figured it was just some sort of office building, but this looks more like a factory, or a secret research lab. The computers show coordinates on a screen that doesn't mean anything to you. A countdown clock is frozen on port 13. All of this has the trappings of a tableau someone set up for you to see. Turning away from the screens, you wander down a long line of gleaming science fiction equipment. It reminds you of pictures of old computers from the 1950s, the ones that took up entire rooms. You bet you could go back and visit some of those if you zapped hard enough. You wander through a whole maze of halls and wide echoing rooms that aren't pictured because our art budget is only so big, but take it as a certainty that they are all very mysterious. I mean, valid. This song really reminds me of Wet Hands from Minecraft.
Ooh. Oh.
It's just the piano part, but when it came in, I was like, is that Wet Hands? And then I realized it was not. Eventually, you circle back to that strange bank of screens. Nervously, you hit a few keys, tap a few fingers against the readouts. Nothing. It's all locked down. You think that if you could only get these screens to unlock, you could unravel the secrets to life, the universe, and everything. Come on, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Okay. Okay. Or maybe it's your memories you're trying to unlock. Maybe then you'll understand the seething waters of this endless ocean of time and space, intertwining in the... Meow. Can you make a meow?
Meow.
Thank you. Is the password? I don't think so.
Wait.
That was good. Meow? You turn around expecting a cat, and you do get a cat. A very adorable black kitten, tiny and soft, with far more eyes than a cat should have. Aww. See, I always liked, it's called Vodka Mutini, right? The cats? Or one of them?
Yes.
I like the eyes, not because they're 4 eyes, but because they look like little eyebrows.
I know,
like,
right?
I love how Rottweilers look with their little eyebrows. I knew Goddess would fucking stand. Wait, is Goddess, do you stand Mom or specifically Vodka Mutini? I mean, we all stand Roxy, obviously, but I'm trying to get the specifics today.
Specifics.
I do stand in general. All the lawns. Both hard, valid, same. But the cat isn't the only thing here. A woman in a sleek white lab coat and sensible heels holds the cat, pinning you to the spot with her gaze. Or at least you assume she is. Her hair is in her eyes and the light is behind her, so all you can see of her face are her painted lips. Sorry, ma'am. You absolutely didn't mean to trespass in her secret science lab, and you actually aren't even lying. You really did just fuck up this time. The lady puts the cat down slowly, where it rolls on its back and bats a paw playfully in the air. Oh, cats are great. Even mutant cats. Maybe especially mutant cats. This little guy should have a name. You think you'll name them Cryptid McWhiskers? Yeah, Cryptid McWhiskers is a great name. In fact, you can't imagine anyone ever naming this cat anything else. You hold out a hand to Cryptid McWhiskers and wriggle your fingers. It rolls back onto its feet and saunters over to you. It's as soft and fluffy as it looks, and its 4 eyes blink up at you with utter trust. At least this kitty will be your friend. The ominous clack of heels on cement reminds you that you and Cryptid McWhiskers are not alone. While you are busy with the kitty cat, the very intimidating and well-coiffed lady has walked over to the bank of screens. She presses a button, and it must have some sort of fingerprint recognition or retinal scanning, or maybe she's just better at things than you are, because it works for her. Is this Jack in his secret dungeon? Yeah, when's the Jack Mom Lalande cosplay? On the floor a few feet from you is a round gray protrusion, a platform on the floor. You saw it earlier, but you had no idea what it was for, so you just ignored it. What you don't understand can't hurt you, right? You think that's probably right. The intimidating lady presses a button on the screen, mouth turning up at the corners. Pumpkin. I like how it's just a photorealistic.
Yeah, it's so funny. That's such a good joke.
She looks too cool to be the drunk babysitter from Hive Swap. Listen, you know what we call that? Growth. Yeah, Jack's obvious choice would be Jack Noir. But that's Jack's dungeon outfit. He can't put that out on Twitch. That's the sexy outfit.
Oh, fuck.
A flash and a pop, like the pressure in the room changes. You feel it in your eardrums. A pumpkin appears on the round gray platform. Who should be Mom Lalande out of the two of us?
I'll be Mom. Okay. Fuck. No, wait.
Not the Southern.
I know. I don't know why I go into Southern so easily. Fuck.
I read Act 2. She didn't grow. She just got a better budget for her outfits. Mom Lalande says fuck. You aren't really sure what she's trying to say here. Making a pumpkin appear out of thin air is impressive, but it probably would have been more so if you hadn't been popping in and out of existence all day. It's gonna take more than a pumpkin to impress you.
Pumpkin. What pumpkin?
Oh, shit, what pumpkin? Oh shit. Let's
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
It's just straight up a picture. The lady shakes her head and hits another button. The pumpkin vanishes and in its place is a tiger. Yes, you heard that right. A whole ass tiger. Orange and black, big teeth and big paws. For a second, the two of you just look at each other. Honestly, the tiger might be more shocked than you are. Kinda sucks to think about. One second you're just chilling on the savannah, mauling antelopes and drinking at the watering hole, and the next you're in a secret lab in upstate New York, staring down a very unappetizing looking protagonist. This motherfucker don't even know where tigers are from. Oh, Nebula says he's the tiger. Wait, Nebula, do you mean you're the tiger or that your mom? Or both? Hi, a guy watching the show. Too real, I miss John. Aw. We just finished playing John, actually. Oh yeah, Nebs is the mom. Nebs could have a good mom voice. I could see it. Anyways. Apparently you're appetizing enough for it to want to get a taste, though, because it looks from you to Cryptid McWhiskers and back again. Then it charges. You try to book it out of there. The lady in the lab coat looms up in front of you. She's saying something. You strain to hear her. The tiger is right behind you. The lady or the tiger? At the last minute, you remember you have magic powers, and you choose the third option, teleporting the fuck out of there. Oh, not again. You just zapped into yet another unknown building. Although, from the view out the window, you think you might be in Rose's house. It's the wizard! I remember him. You see the wizard, Logan?
I do see the wizard.
You see the wizard.
I do see the wizard.
Hi, Dog Ex Machina. That was a tiger.
Oh, hi, dog!
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you can make it. We're in the middle of one of Rose's routes.
Yeah, we're like a little bit past the beginning. We kind of just started it. Also, the fact that Rose turns the corner in the hallway and stops short, still in her rain gear. Her eyes are very wide. You wave awkwardly. That snaps her out of it. She stands up straight, sliding easily from shock to superiority.
So, you thought you just let yourself in? After wasting my time mumbling about the mail, a gaudy display of manipulative self-recrimination, recrimination, and then popping out of existence to leave me asking myself if I'd finally lost my mind?
You hadn't meant to do any of that, especially not that last part. She isn't losing her mind unless both of you are losing your minds together. Rose looks you over. Finally, she seems to decide that you're for real.
Your
Predilections.
Your predilections toward mailman mimicry weren't all that John told me about.
Real friends go nuts together. Real friends go crazy. Ah la 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 la. Go stupid. Ah la 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 la. Together. Oh?
He also said that you had certain powers. Powers of teleportation and time travel. I told him that he must be mistaken, since it's a well-known and accepted fact that magic, although popular and highly engaging subject of fiction, is fake as hell.
For a second, because of the way her fingers are positioned, I thought they gave her like fucking claws, like giant acrylics, but I realized it's just her two fingers next to each other. Oh, your zappy powers? No, those are totally real and not fake. Real in a different way than you being a mailman is real, since that is actually made up. She's still got her umbrella open. Hey, doesn't she know that's bad luck?
Luck is also fake as hell.
Fucking coming for Vriska.
You say you can do magic? Prove it.
But she just saw you vanish out in her front yard.
Like I said, I could be losing my mind.
She could be losing it now, at this very minute, but you see no point in arguing. You hold out a hand, and after a moment of hesitation, Rose puts her fingers in yours. Her nails are long and sharp. Her nails are long and sharp and painted a glossy black. She closes her eyes, and her umbrella droops.
Should I picture my room, or something similar? I'm not quite sure how this is supposed to work.
It's not apparition, you fucking Harry Potter fan. Vriska. She still thinks you're fucking with her. You tell her that you guess she can do that if she wants. Yeah. When you open your eyes, you find yourself in a large, messy bedroom. Wait, let's see what's up here in this bedroom. What is the poster supposed to be? Is it like an eagle head?
No, that's like a
Eldritch
what's the word?
thingy?
It's like a like Cthulhu or Cthulhu.
Cthulhu?
Yeah, Cthulhu. Yeah.
Is
It's
that...
basically it's an eldritch monster.
Yeah. And then that's actually Cthulhu over on the left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got some Dargans. Look, her bed isn't made proof she's a dirt streamer.
It's true. She's
is
messy
true.
as fuck.
She likes to be a messy batch. I want this jacket. She drops her umbrella.
You really did that.
Sorry, I know it's a serious sentence, but I like the way of listening to. Oh, he really did that. Jack is an official lesbian. He could be Rose or Kanaya. No wait, defo Kanaya vampire. I think we all know I'm the Kanaya here, goddess. Her boots track muddy prints into the thick white carpet. Surprise! You really are magic. Rose puts a small hand against her perfectly painted black lips. She seems momentarily lost for words, and you get the feeling that is not a thing that happens very often. Her eyes are wide and deeply purple. They're sparkling, you might even say. Yeah, Jack can be my wife. That's fine.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
Why does she have a white carpet? They're rich white people, dog. I know, like, I like how dog is in your username, but it sounds really funny when I say it at the end of a sentence. Like, I don't know what to tell you, dog. Rich white people love having white carpets because they have the upkeep. So, like, people know how fancy they are.
That's true. Stay here. Don't go out in the hall. It's not safe.
That's why you picked this name, Valid. I knew I don't know why I tried to say your whole name. Hi, Jaden. This is Homestuck, yeah. This is what we were playing last week, but this is Pesterquest, so. Similar thing, but more aligned with the main story than extra stuff. Also, I agree, Skylar. Like, not only is this Rose sprite so good, especially because I mean, John's sprite looks really, really good. They just didn't change anything. Like, it is mostly just his regular sprite translated, but actually adding stuff to Rose's sprite is so good. They're both very, very well drawn, and I like the energy. You tell Rose to take her time. You're happy to just stand here dripping onto her nice clean floor. She leaves the room and you take the opportunity to examine your surroundings a little more closely. Everyone, please ignore the small fly that just dive-bombed my webcam. I did see it. I don't have control over him. The bed is unmade, books are strewn over the floor carelessly, and a collection of half-drunk cups of coffee crowd the desk. Half-finished knitting projects lie in soft piles all over the room. In fact, there's a lot of evidence that this room is often occupied by someone with a lot of interest who has trouble settling down and putting her attention to one thing at a time. I feel like I'm being read, but whatever.
Actually, Rosekin? Who would have guessed?
Maybe it's all changed. Man, you relate. Not with interest, but with friends. You can't imagine settling for just one. Do all the kids have ADHD? Is this where we are? Is it true?
Oh, they're not neurotypical, if that's what you mean.
Oh, absolutely not. Rose has a number of posters on her walls, although nowhere near as many as your friend John. A calendar hangs beside the window, days ticked off with little X's, all the way up to 4/13, which is circled. You step closer to read the year date up in the corner. 2009. But what the hell do you care about the date? You can make friends any day of the damn week, rain or shine, night or day. Rose sure is taking a while out there. She had told you that it wasn't safe out in the hall. Maybe she hadn't just been quipping. Maybe she's actually in trouble. What should you do? We should save.
So, I'm gonna out myself and say I did play before the stream.
That's why I was talking about earlier. I was like, Logan, you can expose yourself. It's fine.
And so basically, these are the first choice. It seems like it doesn't lead to a bad end, which is really surprising.
Okay.
But I think we should go look for her.
Okay. MSP, a reader, pale slut. Rose knows best, except when she doesn't. No, I agree, dog. I don't know. Logan's the Jade expert. I haven't read it in a long time, but I think they may all have some level of neurodivergence. Jade absolutely reads to me as some level of autistic. That's valid.
I could definitely feel that. I really am invested in Dave being autistic too. I think that's the realness.
Yeah. I mean, it's similar to the sort of thing of being like, I have no friends because X reason, because of X reason people think I'm weird, so I have friends on the internet. And X reason can be being gay and being neurodivergent, or both. Like, it all works together.
I just really liked with Dave, especially in like a regular human stuck kind of scenario where the game doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
He wears the sunglasses because he has light sensitivity issues.
Oh, yeah, okay. I feel that.
I thought that was real.
Also, like, I mean, it is a thing of Homestuck that everyone has a bunch of interests, but that also can feel that way, especially with Dave. I know exactly what you mean.
Also, like, talking to yourself is like a big what's the word?
Self-soothing?
It's not, it's like
stimming?
Yes, there we go. It's a big stimming, or a lot of people talk to themselves as a form of stim.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I think me and Jack can trade Logan and I, depending on the day. The only reason I'm reluctant to imagine Jade with autism is because she's like the most childish of the group, and that's not what I want to get out of her at all. That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really fair.
I can understand, like, not wanting to, I don't know, like, fuel stereotypes is the word, I guess?
Yeah, true.
Like, things can be true even if they align with stereotypes. It just feels bad if that's, like, the one that you think of first, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think you can also deal with, like, all of the different kinds of interests as also just being, like, a little girl who has ADHD, because also, like, I know the way my ADHD manifested too was that I was a lot more of a backseat kind of person because everything was always too stimulating, if that makes sense.
Valid. Yeah, I know what you mean, I think. I don't know if I just had so many interests as a kid. And I wish someone had been like, you need to stay with one. Because I was definitely that kid. I would be super interested. It's the classic ADHD thing where I would get really interested in something like out of nowhere. And I wish people had just been like, listen, just because you've been interested in it for the last week does not mean it's a thing. So calm down. Because I feel like I just switch things a lot, so I don't know how to do anything. So I wish someone had been like, listen, just pick one, you fucking wild ass.
You fucking idiot. Fucking silly Billy.
You fucking silly Billy?
I always know I made a good joke when Andrea repeats it.
In a more aggressive voice.
Yeah. You fucking silly Billy.
You fucking silly Billy.
You fucking silly Billy. Okay, we're done. Let's move on.
So I'm just reading chat. You're all valid. I don't necessarily have anything to say about a lot of things. I definitely feel having a general interest is fantasy though, and then other things branch out from there. It's just that as I've gotten older, I haven't like focused in my interest. I've only gotten more. So I'm like collecting them like infinity stones.
You have like a wheelhouse of interest.
Do. I have a wheelhouse and I pick a different like 2 or 3 every few months.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a lot.
I feel it. And then I'm on the whole other spectrum where I've had the same interest for 3 years and I cannot stop thinking about it.
It's true. Mob Psycho gave you some alleviation for a little bit and then it was all back.
Yeah, well the thing about Mob Psycho is that it was finished. Like, it was hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
really
with Homestuck.
Past that.
Yeah, exactly. And Homestuck, like... Oh, I never showed you Hussy's letter. Hussy actually wrote a 2,500 word fucking letter to the community.
Oh shit. We should read it after we do Roses, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. You're too anxious to sit still, and you aren't the sort of person who just sits there and waits for friend opportunities to fall into their lap. Better to run headlong into danger, or as much danger as a minimalist upper-middle-class house in the middle of the woods can offer. Rosa told you that it isn't safe. You creep out in the hallway, where a bunch of things happen more or less simultaneously, a deluge of quick-time events that you had no idea were coming. Lightning flashes in a perfect, jagged line across the tall window at the end of the hall, followed immediately by a crash of thunder so loud you think the house might be falling down. Abruptly, all the lights go out. Another flash of lightning, and for a vertiginous moment, you see a long, thin figure superimposed against the window. You freak the fuck out, jumping about a foot in the air and yowling like a cat. A small hand lands on your shoulder and you jump again.
The one thing about the Rose sprite that does put me off is her neck.
I see what you mean. Like the neck and the décolletage.
Yeah, it's very thin.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything seems so proportionate to each other, and then you got a little baby neck.
I still think the shirt is cut weird, but that's okay. Maybe I just also want her to have a long sleeve shirt.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe you just hate short sleeves. Have you thought about that?
I think they're fine, but long sleeves just always look better.
The bias exists, kids.
Hey Logan, what shirt do you draw John in again?
I draw him in long sleeve. That's because his sprite is long sleeve.
Yeah, but we also know that you just change things if you think they don't look good. So clearly, Henny, the long sleeve shirt is the correct option.
Andrea, you know me. I don't usually change things.
I'm sorry?
Well, I mean, I don't...
Logan said Rose is a butch with a big nose, and you're gonna sit here and tell me you didn't change anything.
Hey, I fill in gaps, okay?
It's artistic expression, exactly. And Logan can agree, long sleeve shirts are better.
They're true. That's true. I don't like wearing them, but it's true.
That's fair. It gets hot.
It gets so hot, and
we don't all live our lives for fashion.
It's true, I don't.
I run really hot, but I just at some point was like, I'll get over it. I'm gonna be hot anyway. I live in Texas. I'm gonna be hot anyways. I may as well do it for the fashion. For the fashion and for the sweater paws.
That is the most you thing I've ever heard you say.
Well, I've been like that all the time. Even before I was into actually dressing well. Is like, I liked wearing hoodies and I liked wearing long sleeve shirts and I liked wearing jeans. And I was like, Texas, where I live, is really fucking humid, and it's usually 80 degrees or higher, like 9 months out of the year. So I was just like, well, fuck it. I'm gonna be hot and sweaty no matter what. I may as well just go the whole 9 yards. What are you eating, by the way?
No, don't listen to me.
Don't chew so loud, then.
I'm eating parm chips. They're Parmesan. They're made out of Parmesan. And
Oh, those are so good. I love Parmesan chips.
They're so good. Don't listen to me eat them.
Then mute yourself. Oh my, you're eating them right on the mic.
No.
It's ASMR. Give the people what they want. Give them the ASMR.
Alright, I'm done being rude on stream.
No, yeah, the only way I could be stronger is if I don't know why I developed a lisp halfway through that sentence, is if I was a goth. Goths are far too powerful.
Oh!
Like Southern goths or African goths, I have no idea how the fuck they do it. I'm extra, but not that extra.
All I know is that Rose is a butch with a big fucking nose, and
You're
nobody
right.
will ever take that
You're
away
right,
from
and you should say it. This sprite is adorable, but it's kind of like a Pokemon evolution, you know? Like, Charmander's cute, but Charmander's not Charizard. Butch Rose is Charizard. And this is Charmander.
This is Charmander.
It's little babby Charmander. Rose speaks in a normal tone of voice, and it's jarring. The house is echoey and cavernous, and there's just something about a dark house on a stormy evening that makes you want to whisper.
I told you to stay put for a reason. It's too early for my mother to be sauced enough not to notice random strangers in her house, and I don't want to go through the tedious process of explaining who you are.
Yeah, she is 13 here. You grow into butchness. It becomes you.
Yeah.
Neither are Charmeleon, which is objectively the best in the line. You know, Skylar, that's valid, actually. You have a perfectly understandable reason for why you left, and that reason is that you were lonely. Rose snorts. Can you snort, Logan? Cold. You mean you were cold. Stop.
Well, you are soaking wet. Follow me.
Gotta grind that XP to get to Butch level. She grabs you by the wrist and tows you down the hall. You wonder if you should warn her about the strange, wraith-like creature you saw by the window, but you don't want to freak her out. Although her mom might be at risk too. Whatever. Moms are tough. She'll be fine. This probably isn't the first time she's gone toe-to-toe with a weird slender man. This house looks haunted as shit. Rose brings you to a dark laundry room, then motions you to take off your hoodie, which you do, gladly, because it's soaking wet. Yeah, she hasn't smooshed her femme vampire GF, exactly.
That's interesting.
Also, I agree. Rose snorting when she laughs, good canon. Love that.
Yes, that's very, very canon.
Hmm?
The design on the front doesn't mean anything?
Oh, yeah, it is kind of cool. A blue line that zigzags on one end like lightning. Looking at it makes you feel unsettled. You realize Rose is still waiting for a response, so you just hand her the hoodie and tell her no. You're pretty sure it's just an abstract sign. Then you stand there while she tosses the sweatshirt in the dryer, feeling the alarming currents of memory in your bloodstream. You're sure there must be something you forgot to do. You continue to feel weird as Rose hits the dryer button, and nothing happens.
Fuck.
She hits the button a few more times, as if that will make a bit of difference when the power is out. She presses her thumb and forefinger to the bridge of her nose. This is a good sprite. I feel the frustration. I see the little anime sweaty lines above her brow.
Well, you aren't going to fit into anything of mine.
I'm too damn thick.
Too thick.
Too thick.
Too fucking thick.
She leads you down more long, dark hallways. Man, this house is unreasonably huge. You ask Rose if a lot of people live here.
No, it's just me, my mother, and a horde of liquids not soluble in water. Here, try not to drip on the carpet.
You aren't sure how you're supposed to manage that, but okay. This room is large and dark, and when Rose parts the curtains, a flash of lightning illuminates a 4-poster bed, a long counter, and a shelf covered head to foot in bottles. Rose vanishes through another door, leaving you to peruse. This is all liquor. Shit, this is a lot of booze.
Here, I'm not sure what you would want to wear, but this should work until the power comes back on and we can dry your clothes. What are you doing?
What?
Oh, I was just looking at the mouse.
Oh.
I thought you were like pointing something out.
No, I'm just moving it around. Stream can't see it, I don't think, because I think I have the cursor turned off, but I just like to
No, they can see it.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Well, that's awkward. Rose hands you a long silk robe.
She won't miss this. I don't think she's ever even worn it.
I should have been taking the cursor off the screen the whole time, and I didn't know. See, because the thing is, in my preview on OBS, I actually can't see it, which is very bizarre. That's not normal, like, at all. So it's weird that y'all can see it. I just assumed I didn't press the right settings, so I was like, oh, whatever, I'll just deal with it.
She has this whole closet full of fantastic clothes that she never puts on.
You take the robe and go into the large master bathroom. It's kind of a mess. The tub looks like it hasn't been cleaned in a long time. The robe gives you the same knotted feeling of familiarity that looking at your hoodie did, but you put it on anyway. It's a relief to get out of your wet clothes. You hang them carefully on the shower rod. When you head back out into the bedroom, you find Rose standing in front of the wall of liquor. She's holding a bottle of Grey Goose and squinting at the label, like she's trying to read the nutrition facts.
I've often wondered what exactly the merits of consuming this are. It tastes quite literally like burning.
Oh, now this is the kin. She opens the bottle, and before you can protest that she is in by no means the legal drinking age in wherever the fuck you are, she puts the bottle to her mouth and takes a sip. She splutters.
That's terrible.
You could have told her that. Straight vodka isn't for the uninitiated, even fancy vodka. You take the bottle from her. She hesitates for a moment, then lets it go. Is Grey Goose fancy?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't drink.
That's true, you don't. Wait a year, Rose. Your depression will tell you that answer. Yeah, that was cute, though. You set it back on the shelf. This really is, quite an impressive liquor cabinet. Liquor wall. Liquor room. Her mom must really have a refined palate.
Don't strain yourself. You can say it. What's the point of mincing words?
This is the sad stuck.
She's a fucking alcoholic.
Wow, this is intense. You're not sure if you're prepared for something this heavy. You're kind of counting on some silly shenanigans, maybe a couple funny jokes. You aren't cut out for this. You get the feeling that at some point you might have been cut out for this. You might have been the sort of person your friends or potential friends could count on. In fact, you know on some level that this is true, but whenever you try to nail down any sort of specifics, you find a gaping lacuna in your experiences. I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm assuming...
Lacuna.
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 It's all just white noise. Rose's shoulders slump as she stands surveying her mother's bottles.
She doesn't even have the decency to hide her distasteful habits. Who needs an entire wall of liquor bottles? She doesn't have people over. She doesn't have any friends. This is all just for me. Just more of her passive-aggressive act as a femme fatale 1950s housewife with a death wish. It's just like the Wizards.
Out of context, it's just like the Wizards. Lacuna, an unfilled space or interval, a gap. Okay, thank you. Wizards?
Wizards? Don't worry about it. You know how long it's been since I've had a home-cooked meal? And I'm not saying that I require, even deserve, a lovingly crafted culinary masterpiece every time I sit down to eat. That's going a bit far. I know John complains about being plagued by fatherly concern every chance he gets. He is overwhelmed by pastries whenever he ventures from his room. I'm glad my mother doesn't poke her considerable nose into my private affairs.
That's the self-hate about the nose.
But but I'm sick of eating oatmeal.
Rose.
I felt so valid at this point because I headcanon Rose as having to cook for herself.
Yes, I remember you
years.
specifically telling me this.
Yes, and I was like, fucking Mama Land does not cook. She does not take care
It's
of her
Logan's
child.
influence on the Homestuck fandom.
Ah! Okay, no. I told you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it is too real. They sprinkled in the sad stuff with John, and then they were like, all right, we got him fucking warmed up. Let's hit him with it.
Wait for Dave. It's just gonna
Oh,
keep
real.
getting more and more sad. Because after Dave, you have to go to Jade.
Uh,
Well, and you have the powers to take her off the island.
That's true, you do.
You have to wonder if you're gonna do it or not, and
We
what kind
gotta
of like.
know. Yeah, John complaining about his dad to all his friends with parental issues. John is pretty oblivious socially most of the time, I feel like. And then also just like, he thinks he's just being casual, like, oh, haha, it sucks, how annoying. F.
God, I think Beck is like going to attack MSPA.
That would be really funny, though.
Alright.
Yeah, I've felt the same way this whole time, but having it confirmed is the worst sort of validation. Yeah, valid. Yeah, dad is pretty doting, for sure. But you will worry about it. You worry about all your friends. All 2 of them. Rose smiles with half of her mouth. It seems to be about all she can manage. Lightning crashes. She looks so small and sad against this wall of bottles. You know how to fix this. Thunder rolls and you clench your fist. A friendship clench. You don't know who you are. You don't know why you're here. But you do know that surely you have these powers for a reason. And what better reason than helping a poor young girl with her troubled home life? Rolling up your floppy sleeves, you get to work. Uh-oh.
Also, I just realized this, but something about the John route that we might not have gotten was that them talking about MSPA not being a male person is also kind of like a little poke at, not a poke, but a little wink at the June Egbert headcanon. Because technically MSPA doesn't have a gender.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking was weird because...
And they keep referring to it as male person, male man, male person, yeah.
Yeah, well, in Friendsim too, they were pretty consistently given male pronouns.
Are they?
Yeah, that's the one thing I noticed, and I couldn't tell if it was deliberate or it was just an inconsistency. Like, to me, the word guy is not gender neutral unless it's plural. Like, if you say, hey guys, that's gender neutral, but if you say, you are just some guy, that's very male to me. Because in Friendsim, they called them they, but when you are always saying you're just some guy, and then also the mailman thing, and John calling MSPA he every single time, that it's more difficult to tell if it's intentional or not.
That was John projecting, but I think with Friendsim it was supposed to be male neutral, or it was supposed to be just neutral gender. Because see, with guy, it's like I think guy's a little bit more gender neutral, or it's starting to become more gender neutral.
I know that's how it's supposed to be, but when it's for an individual person, I don't see it that way.
I feel like you're valid. I think you are valid.
If someone told me you're just some guy, I'd be like, what the fuck did you just say to me? Growing up in California, guy and dude feels gender neutral. Dude, I don't know. It's if you're referred to as an individual basis, both of those feel male, like masculine. Just if it's plural, it's different to me.
It might be a California thing, because I'm on the same page with Lumpy. With Lisa. Lumpy.
Yeah, Goddess is from Arizona and is in Cali now. But that's it's probably the Spanish influence, TBH. Because that's how it works in Spanish.
But, you know, the thing is that I've also just call everybody sir, so.
That's true, but you do it as a joke.
I'm not your pal, dude. Alright, wait. What? Are you doing?
There's a line in the John read of John thanking MSPA reader for helping him with his mail problems or something like that. That's funny. You start with the dark liquors first. In your experiences, those cause worse hangovers and are more likely to contribute to the absence of hot motherly meals and the overconsumption of oatmeal. You grab 2 bottles of rum and 1 of bourbon, which you tuck in one armpit. You live in Tennessee, so maybe guys were neutral here. I think it might actually be the Spanish part, to be honest. Like, if you... So apparently we're going into linguistics. In Spanish, if you have one person or one thing that is masculine, you refer to it with a masculine word. If you have a group of those things that are all masculine, you continue to use the masculine word pluralized. If it is all feminine things, then you use the feminine version of that word, pluralized. However, if you have a mix of masculine and feminine things, then you still use the masculine plural. So if you have a single man, you would say that is a guy. If you have a group of men, you would say those are some guys. If you have a group of men and women, you would say those are some guys. And if you have a group of women, you would say those are some girls. So I think when other Hispanic people use... All the Hispanic people I don't know don't use the terms guy or dude as singular because it is very masculine to us, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how it works in Spanish. I barely even speak Spanish, but these things happen. I love these trees, they're very cute. Then you zap out of the house and into a clearing in the nearby woods. A couple of hours ago, before it started raining. You drop the bottles and go back for more.
Are you just stealing all of my mother's liquor? Is this your solution to her alcoholism?
Yeah, French and Italian do it probably the same. Don't worry, Rose can thank you later. Oh, we flashing, boys.
Oh, Flash? Oh, Flash?
You go for the tequila next, then the vodka, then you get sick of this organized approach and just start grabbing whatever the fuck and dumping it in the past. Blang, blang. She's just texting. Rose watches you do this for a while, then she hops up on the counter, crosses her legs, and starts texting. Wow, she's really so intent on our conversation that she isn't even noticing you fixing her domestic situation. She keeps giving you little fleeting looks, and you're pretty sure she must be talking about you. You should just let her talk. It isn't right to try to invade your friend's privacy. You attempt to resist the temptation, which you fail at immediately. Not even an overused meme can save you. The flip phone, you right. You zap behind her onto the counter where you can spy on her private correspondence. She's here.
Yes!
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 Yes! Wait, should I be
All
Rose
right.
for this?
No, you can be Jade. We'll just switch him.
I don't know what the fuck Jade sounds like, Logan.
You have to be loud and exuberant.
But she seems so sad. Look at the slashy faces.
I'm sorry. No, that's not what she sounds like. No.
I don't know anything about them. I'm sorry. That just sounds like John, though.
Okay, let me try. I don't know anything about them. I'm sorry.
How does MSPA reader know so much about alcohol? Because they're clearly a full adult and are a fucking creep. Just do an imitation of Logan. Jade has a slight Texan accent, so you gotta do it. What?
Does she?
Does she?
What?
What? Nani?
What?
I thought she was... I mean, she's from an island. I can't do a Caribbean accent. Like a really... You know how, like, people from New York and Miami, they have, like, that gentle touch of the Caribbean accent?
Some people thought that she might have a little bit of an English accent because of Grandpa.
Oh, that's true. I have heard of that. Dog, I have no idea what word you just said.
Hello?
Not you, dog. Dog chat, dog.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? I don't know anything about them. I'm sorry.
That's valid.
That
I don't
works.
know. What do you think about the English accent, Logan? Guide me. You're my casting director. Oh, it was
See,
a
I
key
don't-
smash. I thought you were saying a word.
I don't personally see the English accent because she's just kind of like on an island by herself.
By herself. I don't know
By
anything
herself.
about them. She's just Sandy Cheeks.
God, that'd be so funny. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would just pitch your voice maybe a little bit higher.
Okay.
Oh, that's fucked up. That's not necessary.
I don't know anything about them. I'm sorry.
That's good. I like
Okay,
that.
I'll try that. I'll try to keep that up.
Sigh. Just fucking sigh. Sigh.
You know you were a
Sigh.
dramatic bitch when you typed out the word sigh.
And here was me trying to take advantage of your uncanny ability to make guesses verging on prognostication. Prognostication.
You're fine. It's just funny how I could feel you. You didn't sigh, but I could feel you sigh halfway through that word.
I'm recently considering a reevaluation on magic.
You don't know who this person is. Maybe you should just... You go back in time a couple minutes to when Rose started her conversation. Your past self is busily zapping back and forth carrying liquor bottles. You hunker down so you don't see yourself and cause a paradox, or whatever the fuck.
Out of a morbid curiosity to shine a light on my future, I come with a metaphorical hat in hand to ask you to consult your dream clouds.
Finally, Rose and Jade talking.
Do you happen to know anything about a strange cardboard cutout creature masquerading as a mailman? Are you sleeping?
I don't remember what I did. Well, I do, but it's
Just-
hard. I'm trying to think of what level the pitch was. Sorry! I had to scold Beck. He's been acting really weird all of a sudden. Anyway, is this the same mailman that John was talking about? The fake one who hung out with him?
That's the one. They are currently emptying my mother's liquor cabinet in an attempt to prevent her from overindulging herself.
Also, I done been streaming, so my voice can't go as high because it's scratchy. Oh, are they drinking it?
No, I think they're just dropping into the woods with their magic powers.
Oh! Do they know that she could just go out and buy more liquor? That's something you can do where you live, right?
Yes. Well, not exactly where we live. I think the nearest boozery is a good 20-minute drive. I'm not actually entirely sure where my mother got it all. We don't even own a car, as far as I know. Sometimes it seems like she has the ability to just make things appear.
I don't know anything about them. I'm sorry.
And here was me trying to take advantage of your uncanny ability to make guesses, verging... Didn't she just say this?
Yeah, remember we went back 2 minutes?
Oh, okay. As I am recently considering a reevaluation on magic.
I saw you skip the word prognostication. I'm still pretty sure magic is fake. At least the kinds of magic you're talking about. There's probably some real magic out there somewhere.
Yes. For instance, the sort that lets you spy on your hostess's private correspondence while you are stealing your mother's libations. You
freeze. With a contrite zap, you reappear in front of Rose. She sets her phone down and props her chin up on a delicate fist. Sorry, you honestly don't know what got into you. You just couldn't resist using your power for evil. Also, I agree, Nate. You know Mom Mulan would fucking love Postmates and Amazon in this dimension.
Haven't you heard that with great power comes great responsibility?
Yeah, Dog and Skylar, she's seeing right through our bullshit. Rose is right. She's totally right. You've only had this power for like a day, so you still aren't used to the idea of being able to zap all over the narrative. Clearly, you did not appreciate the implications.
Zapping all over the narrative sounds potentially stressful.
Oh, you bet. You are incredibly stressed right now. Rose laughs. You apologize to her for stealing all her mom's drinks. That was kind of overzealous of you.
No, actually, I thought it was hilarious. I've never really been one for pranks.
Is this a prank? I don't know.
This is rehab.
I know this is mid-2000s prank culture, but I don't consider a prank just breaking someone's shit.
Just take their shit.
Just take their shit. Just steal it. Logan.
Is it my turn now again?
Yeah.
Fuck. That's always fallen more into John's wheelhouse, but there's nothing wrong in occasionally stepping outside of one's comfort zone.
When you're a kid, crime is a prank.
Let's do the vodka next.
It is just an intervention. The two of you working together gets the place cleared out pretty quick. You zap Rose along with you to the bright clearing in the field, and for a moment she just stands in a sunbeam, blinking up at the cloudless sky. Oh, is that some foreshadowing? Her expression says she still might not be totally convinced any of this is happening. When all the liquor has been transferred from the bedroom to the woods in a big glittering dragon sort of booze, you and Rose fall down next to it in a messy heap. It's a prank if there's enough property damage. Work. Well, you fall into a messy heap. Rose lowers herself daintily, sitting more on her knees than her butt, probably to keep her skirt from getting dirty. You get the idea that even though she lives in the middle of nowhere, she doesn't spend a ton of time outside. You tell her again that you're sorry you spied on her correspondence with her green friend, Gigi. Also, you hope she isn't going to get in trouble with her mom.
I'm not unduly concerned. I'll tell her where it all is in a couple days, although by that time, I'm sure at least a good third of it will be water damaged.
Oh, we just put them there normally. I thought we broke them.
No.
Oh.
I'm sure this will have fantastic implications for our relationship and not at all exacerbate the emotional underlying underlying her addiction.
You laugh awkwardly. Well, now you kind of just feel like an asshole. Rose lies back on the grass and raises a hand to trace the curves of a fluffy white cloud. She closes her eyes.
Perhaps it's just projection on my part, or wishful thinking.
Skylar, I think the implication... They said it's a muddy clearing, so I think the implication is that they'll all fall over and break or something? Like, because of the rain and the water? I don't really know.
But ever since I met you, I feel like something has changed. Or rather, something has failed to change, if that makes any sense. It's probably nothing.
Oh, water damage the seals? I mean, I guess it depends on the bottle, doesn't it? Her eyes flicker back open, endlessly purple, fixed on the sky like she can see something beyond it. And once again, you feel that there's something really crucial that you forgot. But at least you've made a new friend, and even if you don't think Rose's brand would ever allow her to call you as such, you're lying in a sunny clearing next to a pile of alcohol, and honestly, it doesn't get much friendlier than that. Yes, bitches!
Woo!
Woo!
Victory!
Ooh, 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 ooh.
All right.
What is her land again? Rose's land?
Light and...
Is it rain?
Yes, light and rain.
Okay. Schmore schmattowing, I believe. So this game lets you give the MSPA kids a happy life. Best game ever. I really liked how hers looked.
I really hope that's what happens.
Let's do the second choice again instead of the first one. We'll stay put.
Yeah. Because the first one, it seems like it just kind of... It didn't lead... Yeah. Or no, it didn't lead to a different ending, which was what was surprising. Because I chose the other thing when I played.
Oh, so you mean it keeps it the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Your patience pays off almost at once. Rose is back and looking significantly more put together. Also, she's brought you a towel.
Here. I'm not overly attached to anything in here. It's mostly just childish nonsense I haven't yet bothered to rid myself of, but I'd appreciate it if you tried not to drip on any of the notebooks.
She's changed out of her raincoat and boots, and she's dressed in a neat black skirt and a white shirt with a purple blob thing with tentacles. What is it with these kids in their blob shirts?
Now, that's dealt with. Please sit down.
She crosses her legs. You suddenly feel like you're at a job interview. Friend interview. You wish you were a little less damp.
Actually, let's switch places.
You're still pretty wet. You don't want to get her bedspread messed up.
Don't worry about it. That's what washing machines are for. Now, let's talk about magic. Which, up until now, I have always taken for granted as being something confined to storybooks.
Rose takes a wistful look toward her bedroom window, grayed over and blurry with raindrops. You get the feeling that she's doing it for effect. Maybe that's why she wanted you to switch places with her.
And then comes you, the not a mailman with a penchant for showing up and attempting to make friends with unwitting children.
Well, fair. She's got you there. But honestly, she might be a child, but she really doesn't seem to be unwitting. On the contrary, she's really quite witty.
I'm glad you noticed.
She folds her hands and clears her throat. You think that if she had any notes, she would be shuffling them.
And so, the question remains, are you a good witch? Are you a bad witch? Or are you a wizard? We've already established that you are not a public servant.
The Wicked Witch of the East, bro! You're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? She came down in a bubble! I fucking love that video so much. I keep forgetting.
So
I still need to make Sassy a sound commands so he can just use it. Is there a difference between a witch and a wizard?
Of course there is. But exactly how specific of a difference can vary. According to some works of fiction, a wizard is just a witch's male counterpart. But in certain mythologies, for instance, Arthurian legend, the differences appear to be class-based. Wizards reside at court and are classically trained, while witches are self-taught and run wild through the forest. I don't deny that these differences tend to often be gendered as well.
Get him, Rose. You ask her which one she is, a witch or a wizard.
Me?
Rose shifts, uncrossing and recrossing her legs. You shrug and say she just seems to know a lot about them.
I know a thing or two. But can I tell you a secret?
I agree with you, Lisa. MSPA Rita is really fucking creepy. Oh my god, Rose. She has no idea how much you would love to hear her secret.
I find them, wizards I mean, ... utterly reprehensible. They disgust me. Everything from their floppish robes to their grizzled beards. It's my mother who is the wizard enthusiast in the house.
And what was she? A princess! And what was her sister? The Wicked Witch of the East, bro! Grow up! And then he's like, I'm gonna kill him, or whatever. I'm gonna stab him. Grow up! It's like while he's walking away. It's so good. I know Sassy done been lurking. I should have expected that one summon. That's John Cat, no!
That is John Cat, it is! I'm sorry. You have to live with that knowledge now. Fucking I'm gonna kill
I
him.
like how that whole thing is predicated on Karkat being wrong in that scenario. I'm assuming Karkat's the one that's actually screaming.
Karkat's always wrong.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
so do you know the backstory to that video?
What?
Okay,
No, I
so there's two. We'll say that one guy is blonde guy and the other guy is bald guy. So they're both playing headbands or heads up or whatever the fuck that game is called, where like you have a secret thing and people tell you things about it and they try to guess it.
Oh no!
And so the bald guy had Glinda the Good Witch. And the guy in the chair said she's a princess, so he didn't guess Glinda the Good Witch because she's not a princess. So the bald guy got mad at him, and then it started that argument. It's so good. Yeah, MSPA reader's not human. We're like just some random thing. We're an audience stand-in as a race, basically. So
Karkat's only right when he's talking about other people's problems.
that's
Let's
true.
be real.
Karkat is perpetually the best friend in Disney Channel original movies.
Ah! He is! Fuck!
Karkat's the Gordo from Lizzie McGuire.
MSPA reader and Karkat hold hands, and in the middle, it's being a pale slut.
Stop. I wonder if that'll happen. Wait, so is Pesterquest, are all the characters for Pesterquest confirmed or no?
No, but basically it's 20. The numbers are off. They say 20 characters for 14 volumes. And I'm assuming every volume's gonna have 2 characters.
Well,
like this.
maybe the last volume will have 4.
Maybe. What I'm thinking is that they're going to pair up. Because, that would be 6, and that would be 6 humans and 12 trolls. But you know what I was thinking?
No?
Do the
You
Guardians...
said 20.
Yeah, 6 humans and 12 trolls. That'd be 20.
That's 18.
So 20... What? Oh, fuck.
It's gonna. I imagine it would be. What I was thinking was they'll do the beta kids, then they'll do the alpha
it's
kids,
8.
and then I didn't know.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's 8 kids. I fucking totally forgot about
so
Jane and Jared.
all the beta kids, all the alpha kids, and then I assumed
No,
the
I'm
beta
kidding. I
trolls.
love Jane. I love Jane. Jane's a good character.
It'd be hilarious if Karkat got
I think
jealous that
Captain
MSPA
Drake
reader
did.
was making friends with all his friends.
Ah!
I don't think Logan
That'd be
forgot Jane and Jake. I think Logan just can't count.
I just forgot that it's not 6 humans, it's 8. So I don't remember. I just don't know how to count. I don't know anything. But something I'm trying to figure out in my head is if the Guardians count towards the count.
Oh, that's a good
Because
question.
it says 20 characters. So that would be...
But that's
So that'd be-
that's saying if it's a route though, or did they just mean there will be 20 characters in it?
There'll be 20 characters in it.
Okay, well we already got Vodka Mutini and Mom, so that's them down.
I mean, technically we met Dad.
But he didn't have a Sprite, so I feel like it doesn't count.
Oh, that's true.
But there was
So
a
that's-
Mom Sprite, and she talked.
I wouldn't be surprised if they like had Equius and Nepta or Arid and Feferi in the same
Don't make
room.
me deal with Aridin to talk to Fefri. Kind of bullshit.
We
Don't make me
will.
deal with Equius to talk to Nepeta.
God, what are these men bouncers trying to, keep us away from the Whammeds?
Exactly. Wait, okay, so you said 20 volumes and then what was the other thing you said?
No, 14 volumes.
14 volumes, 20 characters.
Yes, you will meet 20 distinct characters in 14 volumes.
Oh, they have to put a lot together then. I was thinking just 2, but they have to do more than that.
2 what?
'Cause I'm saying, okay, so like John and Rose are 1 volume and that's 2 people.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, oh, maybe 1 volume will be 4 people, but that's still not enough to combine, right? Wait.
Yeah. So,
Wait, no, it's too little.
14 volumes.
If there's 14 volumes and each... Oh, wait, no. Wait, I'm lost. I've confused myself.
We're all confused.
Oh no, I'm confusing myself because of the DLC. John is one volume by himself, right?
Is he? I thought him and... Oh, wait. No, I thought him and Rose were one volume.
No, I don't think they are actually. Hang on.
Together.
Let me save right here. And go to the main menu.
Close menu. Oh, no.
Oops. Oh, no, yeah. Okay, yeah. They're so I thought they were one volume together, but no. John is one volume and Rose is another volume.
Oh.
So if there's 14 volumes and 20 characters, then, like, what is that? 4 volumes have... No, not 4.
6?
I hate doing math.
I hate...
3 volumes have to have 2 characters in them, right?
3 volumes.
Or it might be 4. I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. Like, I really doubt they're gonna give Tavros, like, this big root. What? I'm not even trying to be
I know
mean.
you're not trying to be mean. It's just still funny. No, yeah. So if it was,
and I'm
4,
sure
then
Aradia will be. I'm sure Aradia will be part of Solix's route versus, or be part of other people's routes versus having her own, considering she's dead and a ghost. At
Nate,
this time.
we're not. Listen, Nate, we like Tavros. It's just the narrative doesn't, and it's funny.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm thinking more so along the lines of the trolls who weren't super important to the main narrative are probably, but it really does kind of throw off if you count the Guardians as characters.
Looking forward to Shush Pap and Gamzee.
Fuck! They're gonna make PBJ canon.
Wait, it's 8 and 6, actually. Sorry, I was trying to do the math in my head because it's hard. So that would mean that if things are only paired up, like if you can't have more than 2 people in one volume, then there would be 8 solo volumes, which would be the kids, and then you'd have 6 double volumes with 2 trolls each. Which makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine them not giving Cardcat, like, his own, like, longer volume.
Do you think that they would make a volume that is Cardcat with Nepeta in the background? No?
No, because I feel like what they're going to do is, it's more so they're going to pair up characters who were commented as living close to each other.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking Vriska and Equius are definitely going to be them, but I can't imagine Equius and Nepeta having a route together.
I mean, they live near each other.
And they are friends, but they're both boring, is the problem.
Ah!
That's not even a read, it's just true.
Yeah, that's true. God, they might just put them both in Vriska's route.
Oh my god,
That'd
be so fucking funny if there were just like 5 people in Vriska's route.
Yeah! She's that relevant, everybody!
Someone did a code rip and Cardcat and Aradia are the first trolls. Okay. I guess, yeah, it's a pretty... It'd be... There's no guarantee that all the kids have their own volumes. Do you think some of the kids will have volumes mixed with other people? Yeah, Vriska and Equius live next to each other, and also, isn't Equius making Vriska's arm before the game?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's that.
No, he already made her arm.
Well, right, but this is set before the game.
This is the day of the game.
Right, but the game hasn't started yet.
Yeah. But he made that arm for her, like, way before.
Maybe there's some maintenance. Doesn't she
Well,
bother him a lot?
She does. She does.
I was thinking.
It's a little sad when, like, Vriska's like, Equius is my friend.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
He's just so fucking sweaty. Sweaty, hairy man.
So yeah, you think, like, I can't imagine Dirk not getting a full route to himself. Neither Roxy. But I could imagine them jipping Jane and Jake.
Yeah. God. Fuck. Well, I don't know about that. I feel like they would definitely give both of them. Because, I mean, no matter what, Jane, Jake, and the rest of the alphas are supremely more important to the narrative than any of the beta trolls. Besides, like, the main four.
That is true. But with Friendsim and Pesterquest, I feel like they really just kind of do what they think will be fun. Night, Skylar. Thank you for coming here. You have a nice night too. Sleep tight. Yeah, Jane and Jake get one route and you have to help them resolve their issues. Exactly.
The fucking resolve of that issue is just...
Talking.
Yeah, and then maybe not talking for a little while. And maybe just, like, having other friends. I'm kidding.
You're not wrong.
I think,
Brain
like,
goes
some...
dick.
Ah! I would actually love that if he was, like, his own character. What if Hal counts as a character?
That'd be some bullshit. I'm fucking
Never
tired of Dirk. I read like one panel of Dirk back when the Alpha story first came out, and I was like, I'm sick of this dude.
You know what? The thing is that I really like Dirk.
And you like making him a little Muppet.
Yeah, I do. I really liked Dirk when Act 6 was updating. I thought he was like really interesting. But yeah, but you know, the Strider craze does kind of take my enthusiasm out of characters because there's so much attention drawn to them.
Yeah, exactly
like
what Dog said. I've been here since 2009. I'm allowed to be tired of the Striders.
Exactly! Dog, you are... Dog, the validity you exude every day on my TL is amazing, and I want to personally thank you.
Real?
Thank you, dog.
But it's true. Honestly, I didn't like any of the alphas that much except for Roxy. I like really wanted to like Jane, but I just wasn't having a great time.
That's valid. She can't win them all.
Can't win them all. Yeah,
I love reading... I love jokes. Like, I love jokes surrounding Jake, and I love reading his dialogue, but he's also just, like, such a fucking himbo. It's hard.
I don't know who put this on your timeline, but I saw you retweet it. I think it might have been Haven, but I don't remember. But it was just something that was like, everything was going fine when they accidentally added chemical himbo.
Oh, yeah.
I was losing my shit at that.
That's a story of my life.
It's so good. Chemical himbo is a phrase, is perfect. Anyways, we should probably finish the game. I think we may not do Friendsim tonight because it's getting we took much longer than I anticipated.
I was thinking the same thing, especially because these are longer than Friendsim.
They are longer and we keep not shutting the fuck up. It's a disease I have of speaking. That's why I became a streamer. The narrative really doesn't want Jane to be a good person, and she's just like unlikable unless you make yourself dig for her personality. Exactly.
Yeah.
I did like it when I liked her world, and I like when she was exploring, but that's all I remember liking about her.
I really liked her conversation with Jake. When he kind of like cornered her into admitting her feelings, because I've done that exact same fucking thing, and I was like, this is too much, this is too real, I have to go. Oh god, Andrea,
sorry, East Coast people.
Honestly, Andrea, I've never told you this, but I have some sad stuff about my first run with Homestuck fandom. God, it's not even real sad stuff, but so I only really made one friend in Homestuck fandom beforehand, and God, it was the best way to make everybody understand exactly what the dynamic of that friendship was. That when the one pester log of Caliborn like, berating Jane and calling her fat dropped, my friend immediately messaged me saying that this is us, and I immediately agreed with him. Yeah!
Ooh. Can we get some F's in chat for Logan having a best friend?
I know! It was so fucked up. I was like reading the chat, it was like, this is him, and then he messaged me!
Thank you for the S. Logan needs them. It's okay,
Thank you for the S!
It's okay, Logan upgraded to me.
Exactly. In order
You know
to
what we
make a
call
true
that?
best friend,
Growth.
I had to find somebody who didn't read home. No, I'm kidding. I had to befriend somebody who doesn't remember home stuff.
You had to find someone through a mutual friend playing Dungeons and Dragons who didn't know anything about homes.
Yeah! God.
That's insane, actually. Fuck
Thank
that
you,
guy.
man.
Good for you, Logan. Live your life.
Fuck yeah. God, honestly, he messaged me like years later after we stopped, or a year later after we stopped talking, and tried to give me a rundown of what he didn't like of Glamour.
What the fuck? For anyone who doesn't know,
Yeah.
Glamour is Logan's webcomic that she did a while back and then is gonna redo at some point. Friendship ended with asshole. Now Lotus is my friend.
Yeah! That's literally me!
Good.
That is me!
That's insane. What the fuck? What a dickhead.
I know.
I'll kill. I'll guerrilla tactics.
I know, he really was like, Caliborn was made as like
A
an
satire
of the exact fucking fan
my-
he was.
Oh my
They were
god.
the same person. Ah!
Ah! It's all connected. Ah!
He also hated when Carcat like ended up like pacifying Gamzee instead of killing him, because he was like, what about Carcat's destiny as a warrior?
Destiny as a warrior! Ah! That's not real. This
isn't real.
Logan, where am I? 4chan Homestuck fandom satire. Okay, we'll finish Rose's route now. Sorry, East Coast people.
Sorry, East Coast people. I'm so fucking sorry.
We've never done anything right to you, East Coast people. Say although, Logan.
Although.
She glances from side to side, theatrically. Most of the things Rose does seem to be at least a little bit theatrical. She kneels on the carpet beside the clutter of books.
I don't know. I don't show these to many people. Actually, I haven't shown them to anyone.
What about I don't even know what Caliborn is supposed to sound like. What about the red-blooded alien boy's destiny as a most hellacious warrior? Not even John? John seemed to be a pretty cool guy. Definitely a guy worth sharing a few secret notebooks with. Rose laughs.
No, I haven't shown them to John. And I've only shown Strider to punish him.
Just calls him Strider. You nod, pretending that you know who this Strider person is. You are a totally normal dude with an absolutely ungodly number of friends. A shadow moves through the center of you, a trembling moment of deja vu. You do have a lot of friends, don't you? That feels true. But the only people you know here are John and now Rose. Weird. You try to put it to form in your mind and listen to Rose again. She's still talking about this mysterious Strider, flipping through one of the journals, too quickly for you to see anything specific, only that it is full from cover to cover. F for smooth gardening. Logan.
As if my modest writings are the only...
Where are you?
I heard of them. So, my parents are away on vacation, and...
Can we have a house party? Hang on, you sound really
This
close
is the
now.
house party, Andrea!
A second ago you sounded really far, but now you sound really close to your mic.
So, I thought I heard a noise, and I freaked out for a second, and I, like, threw my fucking headphones off. I was like, hello?
No, your mic is too close to your mouth, Logan. Like, your breathing is
Hello?
going over Logan.
What?
I'll kill you.
I'm done. I'm just not being obnoxious. As if my modest writings are the sole source of homoerotic tension in his life, when his brother is the one who insists on filling their home with a sordid duck butt for ironic purposes.
They're ordering from the ether. Rose rolls her eyes. Oh boy, you missed the beginning of that. It probably made way more sense than it seemed like. Rose is searching through her notebooks, checking markings on the spine that seem to be some sort of cataloging system of arcane symbols.
Where is... Oh, right.
She does something quick and complex with her fingers, and another notebook pops into existence and falls into her lap. You gape. She really is a wizard.
What? It's just a Sylladex. A child could use one. Here.
This notebook has a couple of drawings in it, but most of it is filled with small, neat handwriting in lavender ink. Is Rose writing a book?
No, don't be silly. I'm writing 4 books, at least. 5, depending on whether I decide to flesh out Calmus's backstory. It isn't strictly necessary, but it does add a certain amount of valuable character insight, which renders their actions in later volumes more sympathetic. Not that I need all of my anti-heroes to be sympathetic. I'm just thinking of what the literary reviewers would say.
You nod. Smart. You would never have thought of what the literary reviewers would say. She's honestly pretty impressive for someone her age.
Age has nothing to do with it. But don't get carried away. It's only a rough draft.
You ask her if you can take a look. She hesitates, but you doubt she would have shown it to you if she didn't want you to look.
What the hell? If you can't trust a strange, spherical imprint you met outside in the rain, who can you trust?
Bye, Lisa. Thank you for coming.
Bye!
If anyone needs to leave and wants to catch the end of it, Twitch's VODs are automatically uploaded, so like this will just be here on my channel under the videos tab in case you need to see the end of it, like I know many of you want to. But yeah, thank you for coming. Bye. Okay. Right? Your thoughts exactly. Rose hands you the notebook and you open it at random, letting fate guide your hands.
Friggerlish? Biggerlish? Bother... Sorry, it's hard because...
I mean, this one is reading. Do you want me to do this one?
Yeah, go for it.
Friglish bothered his beard, as if unkinking a hitch in a long silk windsock. A more pedestrian audience would parse the exhibit as nervous compulsion, behavior to petition contempt among the reasonable. He was, however, not surrounded by the reasonable, but the wise, a distinction in men that would forever be the difference in history's garland of treasured follies. As a matter of fact, his cadre of fellow wizards were all putting similar moves on their beards as well. The practice would evince thoughtfulness, sagacity, even if they didn't do it all the time, standing in line at the bank, shooing squirrels from bird feeders. Few occasions were safe. Zazarpan inspected the clue, a single piece of evidence cradled in his courageous old man palms. It was a human bone, not striking in the tale it told alone so much as that told by the thousands like it, festooning the marshy soil of the mass grave. The grisly expanse bore the texture of a decadent dessert, like one of Smarnie's formidable custard trifles wobbled out on wheels for the holidays, to the dismay of a small nation. "You're certain of this?" asked Friglish. Despite what he was doing with his beard, he was, in fact, immersed in meaningful contemplation. "I am afraid I am becoming more so with each terrible tick groused by that gaudy timepiece slung around your neck." In case it wasn't clear, Friglish wore a clock Zazarpan didn't care for. It was magic. "The massacre of Sears Gnelf was not as written." Wow, this is pretty dense, but smart. You stroke your own imaginary beard and pretend to ponder the deeper meaning. Yes, intriguing. Zazarpan and Friglish. Sir, clearly there is some history there. This is what I mean when I say I need to eat like 3 Thethauruses to get through a single line of Rose's dialogue sometimes.
Yes, clearly. But what the two of them shared went beyond simple romance. That's why it has gone so spectacularly sour. There you go.
It's hard when we put a lot of S's in a row. It sucks. Rose becomes increasingly more animated as she tells you about her gay wizard OCs, like she is far more interested in them than she is in herself. I mean, valid.
They share an intellectual bond, a mutual dedication to knowledge and the preservation of such. The goal of the learned is to amass their wisdom and keep it from general dissentation into the main populace of wizard. They feed it to their apprentices in drips and drabs. Of course, this will eventually lead to ruin.
Of course. You flip further in the book, searching for the part where it leads to ruin. Ruin sounds interesting. Zazarpan knew he would see his wayward apprentice again, knew it like he knew the tide would turn and the sun would blaze to its zenith as each inexorable day passed. Now they stood diametrically opposed across an overgrown chessboard. His apprentice's eyes were hidden behind dark glass, but Zazarpan knew that if he could see them, they would be riddled with the madness of the void. Calmassus wasn't here for justice or for revenge. They were here exclusively because Zazarpan had something they wanted, something they were owed. So they're the magic bourgeoisie. You flip through the notebook, checking out the drawings. There are lots of wizards, each more bearded and venerable than the last. One of the pictures, the most recent maybe, since it's on the very last page of the journal, is of two young wizards, twins maybe. They have gray hair and are wearing slick green suits, and are standing back to back with their arms entwined, staring into the middle distance. It's very anime. You compliment Rose on her artistic prowess.
Yes, thank you.
Little
They're all right.
13-year-old babby drawing anime.
Oh, booby.
Oh, booby.
I'm a much better writer than I am an artist.
Trickle-down magic economics. You tell her you think she's really good. Way better than you. You're absolutely positive she's gonna be famous one day.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the encouragement, even though I know you're just trying to flatter me, due to your strange thirst for affirmative experiences. John told me all about that.
Damn. Busted. But you really do think she's talented.
It's fine. It's not as if my social calendar is over full out here in the middle of the woods. Don't tell anyone I said that. I don't have many friends. And don't tell me I've been drawing. He'd be insufferable.
He? Calm down, Pfeffery. It sounded like you said insufferable.
Siffer-boo-boo-boo?
Oh, boo boo.
Never mind.
You assure Rose that her secrets are safe and hand back her journal. You're really excited about your new friend, if you might be so bold, and her wizard stories. Although, wait. Hadn't she said that she hated wizards?
What's your point?
What's your problem?
What's your fucking problem? It's really interesting how much they've what's the word? It's really interesting how much foreshadowing to Dave there is, but there isn't a lot for Jade.
Are we shocked?
I know.
Though?
I
We know.
I mean,
Jade talked, but that's about it. I was a little bummed there wasn't any mention of Jade. I don't think at all in John's route.
The only one was Dave saying not to be like Jade.
Well, there's fucking
not to be like Jade, but this blah blah blah.
Well, you're no expert on wizards or on Rose, but it seems like she actually does seem to like them, because she has several notebooks full of wizard fiction. You aren't trying to get, real here, but maybe it's possible her mom isn't the only one in the family who likes wizards? Rose pulls her book out of your hands. That and the rest of the books vanish into thin air. Oh right, that must have been that, what did she call it? Silodex? She doesn't look angry exactly, but the lines around her mouth and eyes that softened as she talked about her book have hardened back up. Her eyes glitter menacingly.
Oh, is that right, Freud? Well, why don't you diagnose me?
Oh, hey. Wow, you weren't trying to be condescending or whatever.
Clearly. Were you aware that it is a common psychological phenomenon for an individual to react to trauma by creating fictional representation of that which has caused them bodily harm or emotional dismay? To suggest that portrayal of those fictional renderings somehow condones them or supports them is absolutely absurd. This was a little heavy-handed.
Yeah, more than a little, I would say. So what she's saying is that she draws wizards to cope. Rose rises regally to her feet. The lightning turns her into an ethereal silhouette.
What I'm saying is that I don't need to justify my fictional predilections to you or to anyone else.
Yeah, that sounds like the epilogue writers writing. Sounds like the Lank writers writing. No, we can be mean. If you're right, you're allowed to be mean. At least just a little bit, though. Not overtly mean. No, she's totally right. You're sorry that you suggested she might like wizards. It was horribly presumptuous and not at all the way a friend should act. We're so sorry. You promise it will never happen again. What are you gonna say, Logan?
Oh, nothing.
Oh.
No, I don't suppose it will.
It's probably just because Rose's hair is such a pale blonde, but it looks almost like she's glowing in the dim bedroom. Like light behaves a little differently around her than it does on everything else. Ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
Would you look at that? It appears the rain has lightened up a bit.
The rain is hitting the window so loudly you're actually having trouble hearing her.
And your point is? You can just zap yourself out to where the weather is drier. Blah, blah, blah. What? Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
That's what you get, you little bitch.
Go zap yourself.
Don't zap yourself. Wait, so I think we have one more technically?
See, I'm not sure where.
You're not sure it changes here?
Yeah, I don't know if it changes there, but try. I don't think it does.
I would assume that she would just say, wow, you're a fucking creep, and tell you to go away. That's what I assumed would happen. Yes, that's what you want.
It's an interesting proposition, if for no other reason than its audacity. I admire your resolve in the face of humiliation. This doesn't mean we're friends, though.
That is weird. Oof, rough. Well, that's fine. You're hopeful. Your mind is fuzzy, but you think you remember this. You're good at this. You're excellent in making people like you through underhanded means. You can't wait to take advantage of this 13-year-old girl's goodwill. Okay, wow, not like that. Let's not be fucking weird. In fact, let that be the last creepy thought you have for comical purposes. S-grade jokes only. Let's all get our brains out of the gutter. Everything was already creepy. And that's the problem. Rose raises a thin brow. There's something unsettling about her deep violet eyes. You're pretty sure most humans don't have eyes like that. What the fuck do you know? You're a stranger around these parts. Wait, aren't you a human too? Whatever, it's not a big deal. Not when there are friends to be made. Or something.
Do you want to come inside? Unless I'm interrupting your internal monologue, of course. Far be it from me to ever cut short any sort of navel-gazing sidebar. It's just over so slightly wet out here.
You would absolutely love that. If it's not too much trouble, of course. You wouldn't want to push Rose out. Oh, put Rose out. You're lying, though. You're 100% fine with being absolutely infuriatingly obnoxious if it means making a friend. Rose purses her lips, considering.
Your predilections toward mailman mimicry weren't all that John told me about.
Oh?
He also said that you had certain powers?
Yeah, this is, wasn't she inside when she said this dialogue last time? Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, it was really weird, because choosing the other, choice, I thought was going to give us another bad ending, but it didn't.
Yeah, it just takes you straight to her bedroom. Okay, so yeah, it's just the same.
So I think there's only
did assume
one
there would
bad...
be a bad end.
Yeah, I think there's only one bad end for her route, which is really weird.
Considering it's Rose. I mean, in general,
yeah, right.
But also especially considering it's Rose. It's weird that you can't piss her off more easily, because she's Rose.
That was one thing I kind of thought when I was watching it, was, you know, God, Rose is a lot nicer than I would have ever suspected her to be.
Yeah, well, I think it's what we can call the Amity problem. Is that if you act the way your character actually is, there is not a story.
Yeah,
so there has to be a certain amount of leeway.
For people who are wondering, what do you mean the Amity problem? My D&D character was a ranger who was a piece of who just fucking hated people.
He didn't like people. He didn't want to do anything. All he wanted to do was live in his house and make money and like just the simple pleasures of life. He didn't want to do all that bullshit. So I joke about it a lot because I think making a character like that is totally fine and I don't mind like writing around that, but Logan always felt really bad, so I like to make fun of her for it. And I just think it would be funny to call anytime you have a character that's sort of resisting their narrative, so you have to like change them a little bit or make them just a teensy bit nicer, or like, oh, maybe they wouldn't make this decision, but for the story that should be called like an Amity. Just for fun.
It's true.
Well, that was kind of an anticlimactic ending because I thought that something would happen, but something didn't happen.
I know, I'm trying to look up if there's like a secret third ending that I didn't like we just don't know about, but I really do think it's just the two endings.
Yeah, I think it is just that. I think that might be a little bit of a time constraint, maybe.
Yeah, I can see that.